and welcome to the Go-To Aesthetics Coach podcast. Thank you for being here today. So I don't know about you guys, but every time when I'm like in that state, like when you're like laying down for bed, like right before falling asleep, I get like so many good ideas. Like I get like this mental rush of like creativity and all that. It always happens either then or when I'm driving, which is unfortunate because both those times, like, you're not like, you don't have something accessible to write. But anyways, that's just something I've noticed. And last night I was just thinking about like what are some quick tangible ways and things that we could put into place for a clinic if they're having like a low month and they're just like, okay, what can I do? I feel like it would be nice to have like a little sheet of like go to tactics and strategies to just do a quick boost in revenue. So I just jotted down some notes this morning and I thought, why not make a quick episode on this and maybe it can help one of you. So, all right. So one of the tactics is upselling additional services. So it's all about, and you probably heard me talk about this before, but it's all about bundling your packages. So what does bundling mean? That means instead of just selling device packages and sessions and skincare separately, bundle it together. This is where I've seen the most success with clinics. So we want to integrate our skincare with our devices because they do go hand in hand, right? So there can be a lot of thought process with people like, oh no, it's too expensive, my clients can't afford it. But we don't need to predetermine and make that assumption, right? There may be clients that can't afford it, that there's truth to that as well, right? But our job is to provide the best solution to the client. So at least what we can do as a service to them is provide what they would actually need to get those best results. And they, of course, can say no, but it's our job as professionals and the experts in this area to at least provide like what we truly would feel would be the best solution for their concerns. So that would include skincare and devices, because as you know, it's such a 360 approach in skincare. Like it's not just a one fix. It really has to do with everything. It has to do with the devices. It has to do with the skincare. It has to do with how we're treating our bodies and, health and wellness, and it's everything, right? So dependent on what you're offering in your clinic, let's bundle all those services together. That's the first tier, the gold tier package that you can offer your client. But of course, not everyone can afford it, but at least they know their options. And then you can have different options. But there should be at least an introduction to what that bundle package would look like to the client. So for example, because I've worked in the skincare space, I can give some specific examples. So let's talk about body contouring. We have hot and cold body contouring. So we have our cool sculpting. We have like M Sculpt. There's other devices out there. A good bundle package with that, if you're carrying something like Galderma, Elastin, they have a body product that when combined with hot or cold body contouring treatments, it actually almost doubles the result of fat loss, because it's going to help facilitate that detoxification process in the body to eliminate those fat cells that are basically getting destroyed through the treatment. There's one thing destroying, sorry about that. I hate when this happens with my laptop. Whenever someone calls, when I'm recording something, the screen goes away and I'm like, ah. Anyways, so when we're doing body contouring treatments, one part of that is that, yes, we are going in and we're destroying fat cells practically, right? But then the other part of it is that actually eliminating that through the body. And typically that takes about 3 months. So there are other things that we can introduce, such as skincare, that can help facilitate that process to make it faster and to have better results, to eliminate more of that waste. Okay, so that's just one example. Of course, we can talk about all the different things, melasma, acne, any treatment that you combine skincare with, you're going to have better results. And better results equals more return clients, right? We don't want clients to come for one treatment and never come back because they didn't feel like they got the results that they wanted. So our job is to make sure that they're getting the best results possible with what we can facilitate to them and offer them. And skincare bundling with treatments is the way to go. So that's one thing. If you're not doing that yet, try it out. One kind of trick of doing that is if you have, so let's say, for example, you have, it doesn't even matter, like any kind of like laser facial, non-ablative or ablative, you can combine skincare product that you know is going to help, one, make the treatment more comfortable if it's like more of an ablative treatment, two, going to help with a faster downtime. That's super crucial to clients because it means less time off work, less social downtime, which if it's too long can be a huge deterrent for that return treatment. And also just overall better results. Like, how are we going to regenerate collagen and elastin and get better results? It's always going to be with combination therapy. So that's why we want to do those things. Now, another thing that we can do is loyalty programs. So loyalty programs can be like different things. It can be like a referral program. So I've seen clinics do like a bring your friend Botox day where you both get, I don't know, whatever, 15% off your Botox, or you get X amount of free units. You could do something where they're collecting points. So maybe for every dollar spent is a point, or whatever you want to do. And once they collect 5,000 points, they get a free hydrofacial, or whatever, or every 1,000 points that they save, they get an extra facial add-on. Maybe that's a jelly mask. Different things that you can do, but loyalty programs are a good way for building that community, keeping that retention, and it's just fun. It's another way to incentivize people to keep coming to you, and bringing more add-ons to when they are at your clinic. So it might entice them to add on the skincare because they're also collecting those points. And once they start to reap the benefits of that, they're gonna, of course, like anything, want more of it. It's just like, for example, working out, it's hard to get going, but once you start going and once you start seeing the results, you want more of it. Of course, promotions. Now, I never want to tell you to highly like over promote. You don't want to do that because that's going in a whole whirlwind of, you could be going into highly price sensitive clients, which is exactly what we don't want. Those are people who are clinic hopping. Those people are always looking for the best deal. Those are not the clients we want. We want clients who are your advocates in your community and are those long-term clients that are going to keep coming back because of you and because of what you provide and what you have established as a brand. So that's different, and that just fits with what they're looking for. You make them feel special. You help them get those results. They feel cared for when they come to your clinic. When you're pricing things in your business, instead of looking at as pricing, I heard this from a business coach recently. It's filtering fees. So instead of it looking as pricing, where it's like, oh no, I can't price too high because people aren't going to come to me. It's like, no, these are, oh my God, what did I say? These are filtering fees. Sorry, it's morning and I need my coffee. Filtering fees. So you're filtering out the right clients, right? That's the right mindset to go about your pricing. Like, you want to price everything at a point that feels good, because you want to feel valued for your work as well. If you go too low because you feel like, because you're working in scarcity, like that's not the way to go. Okay, so back to promotions, those seasonal promotions are a great idea. If you don't want to do like monthly promotions, seasonal promotions are great. Right now it's fall, back to school, a really good time to get a high revenue month. As we know, August, summer can be slower. August is typically a really slow month. September can be a much better month. We just need to put the things in place to make sure that happens. Another thing I wanted to mention was cross-training staff. So training staff to perform multiple procedures so that they can handle a broader range of client needs, filling gaps in the schedule. So this really depends on like the specific clinic, how big you are, Are you, a very small clinic where you have like 2 people, you might have one person at the desk, one tech. If that's the case, like, yeah, it would make sense to train that tech on how to like book an appointment or do something at the front desk in case that front desk person calls in sick one day or can't be there. You want to be able to have that cross function so that your business isn't failing and falling if one person calls in sick, and then you as the business owner has to like come in and, like it's nice to have everyone have like a general skill set, especially in those smaller practices. In a bigger practice, that can get a bit harder. But typically in a bigger practice, you would have maybe more than one front desk staff. So if someone's sick, there's someone else to call in. But overall, cross-training staff is a good idea. Training staff in general is a great idea. Like, I think that monthly training should be a regular thing in a clinic, whether that's training on different treatments, training on the skincare, training on how to bundle, training on how to sell on the floor, how to sell over the phone, how to sell through DMs. So important, because something that I see a lot is clinics are doing all this work to get the leads, but then there's a disconnect once they have the leads and actually getting that lead through the door. Usually that disconnect is the last sale process step, which is when it's brought to the clinic to close. So I see a lot of success in clinics where they're actually training their front staff, the people who are dealing with those leads, to actually get them through the door. And just so you know, if you're ever interested in something like that, we just created an intensive half-day training program where we go through all of that, so we can actually come into your clinic and train all your staff on all these different things so that they understand like the sales side of things. I know that they know all the treatments and all of that, but sometimes we forget to train them on like the business side of things. Like, how do we actually sell? How do we deal with a client? How do we do a proper consultation where we're leading to the most sales at the end of that process? Lots of things that we can go over. Yeah. So incentivizing is another important thing. A lot of clinics actually don't incentivize their staff, where this can be a really powerful tool. So for example, you could do something, and you can work with your reps on this too, like your skincare reps, for example. But incentivizing your staff to actually be selling on the floor. Because if we're being real, people aren't going to push and go out of their way too much unless they're super driven to make those sales. Some people come into work, they're tired, they go in, they do their job, that they leave, right? But we want to foster a team that wants to do more than that. But we do have to incentivize people to actually have that drive to want to do that. It has to be beneficial to them as well. So there's so many things that goes into that, creating a culture, creating incentivization. So something that you could do for that is to say, okay, every month, the person who has the highest skincare sales is going to get a free treatment. Or you can work with your skincare company and say, is there something that you could provide? So something that I used to do with SkinCeuticals and Elastin, what I could provide incentivized programs where either like one staff member a month could win a product, or as a team. Another way of doing it is as a team, if they say increased their sales for the quarter by like, let's say 12% compared to last year, then everyone on the team would get a product. So there's different ways you can go about it, but incentivization is a really powerful tool to just get your staff to just take it up one more notch, and you will see an increase in sales. Another thing is, I make the time, if you like truly try to make the time to allow your staff to try all the treatments that you offer. Now, I know that we're super busy and it's hard to carve out time for anything, even for ourselves, right? As owners of the business, to get treatment sometimes. But it's so important for the people on your team to really understand what every treatment entails, what it feels like from actually feeling it themselves, because they are your strongest sales reps, right? Like, they are your strongest advocates. They are with the clients on a day-to-day basis in that treatment room. If they've never actually experienced the treatment, they're going to talk about it a lot different than if they've actually been there and done that and see what it feels like and gone through the recovery process and all of that. You speak to it differently. That's just what it is. So it is definitely worth it to your business to have everyone experience all the treatments that you're offering, because it's going to increase your sales as well. Another thing to boost some revenue would be client testimonials. So we should be asking every client that comes through the door to leave a Google review. If you can't remember, like, I know it's a lot to remember, there's a lot going on, we're busy in the clinic, have something displayed as a reminder. Even offer, like, if you like email receipts, at the bottom of the receipt, you could say, leave a Google review with this QR code and receive, 10% off your next treatment, like something like that to incentivize them. But Google reviews are gold, which I know you know, but think about it. Like, as a consumer, when you don't know, like say you know no clinics in Vancouver, you just moved here and you're like, I want to go to the best medical aesthetic practice I can find around me. You're going to go into Google, or you're going to go on Instagram, and you're going to search for something that's near you, and you're going to typically go with either, so if it's on Instagram, you're going to go with the one with the best looking feed, the one that resonates with you the most, the one that's providing the most value, has the most buzz around it, that's the most exciting. Or with Google, you're going to go typically with the one that has the highest reviews, because we just, as humans, correlate more views, better business. Another thing in terms of like the kind of the back end, the SEO, the analytic side of things, you want to be doing at least one blog post per month and posting that on your website. Very important. You want to also include keywords in that blog. Now, I could go so deep into this, and there's a lot to explain. Like, SEO and marketing is literally a full-time role on its own if you want to do it super properly. But typically, from a high level, you want to do proper research with your keywords. You want to have the proper keywords for your business based on where you're located, based on what you're offering. You want to have a list of, like, let's say 20 keywords. You want to save these keywords, and they need to be used throughout so many different things on your webpage. They need to be used in all images. They need to be used throughout the text. They need to be used throughout everything, throughout your social media posts. So everything, basically. So if you want to make a little project for yourself, do the research to find 20 keywords for your business, save those in your notes somewhere, and utilize those throughout all of the marketing that you are doing for your business. There's a good website if you don't know like how to do the research for your business. There's a website called, I think it's called Speak to the Public. It's free, and it's a good one to find keywords for your business. Another tool is you should make sure that you have your Google My Business set up. Very important as a professional business to have this. It's really easy to set up. Just go to your Google and you'll see there's like a My Business section. So create one for your business. If you do already have one, make sure that you're actually keeping it up to date. You can, even with certain content platforms, be repurposing the content that you're using on Facebook and Instagram to upload as like an update on your Google My Business, and you can connect your website to it. So it's just another way to get traffic to your business, and it's free. This one's a little more advanced. So we have monthly newsletter blasts, like e-blasts. These should be done monthly. Like this is gold. This is very important. This is as important as your social media, because it's your warm client base. It's so much easier to get low-hanging fruit, right? It's so much easier to get people who have already opted into your business, who already know who you are, to bring them in. So what I see sometimes is that people are investing in all the other areas of their business, but they're kind of neglecting the monthly newsletter, which is so crucial and is like one of the easiest ways to get business. So make sure that you're at least doing, I would say, one monthly e-blast that is not too salesy. Sometimes we're not actually trying to sell anything. Sometimes we're just trying to nurture, right? If you get too salesy all the time, and you're not giving enough value, they're going to unsubscribe. So just keep that in mind. And then the more advanced portion to that would be setting up a drip campaign. So a drip campaign is when you have 3 to 5 email sequences, and it's like a graph basically. So you have like an email, and then if they click on the link that you provide on the email, so say it's a yes, it goes to another email sequence. And if it's a no, that goes to another email sequence. So it kind of is divided based on their answer. And it's going to kind of divide it up from sales to nurture. Like maybe they need more warm nurturing to get that yes. Or maybe they're already a yes and they're a warmer lead, and we can actually bring them right to the promotion or the offer or the service that you are highlighting. So another great thing to do every now and then is to do your own market research. So you can do this through different ways. An easy way to do is through Instagram. Make a story, put a poll out there, either do it talking to camera or just text and make a poll and see what your audience wants. Like see what they want to see for the next promotion. See what they're feeling like they want to know more about, want to be educated more about. It's so important to continually be doing that market research, because if we're not, we're really doing all this blindly. And why would we do that, right? Like we need to work smart, not harder. So just ask the people, ask your community, like what they want to see and provide it. And then, and overall just engagement, like is a whole other thing that we could talk about, but being engaged with that community is so important. We don't want to leave them there stagnant. That gets boring. That doesn't drive sales. We want to continually be building a community. A community is a two-way street. We want to always have engagement. We want to be speaking to them, asking questions, right? Building a community, having events, client, like, building relationships and keeping and fostering those relationships. Okay. So I just wanted to add at the end here, because this is so like dear to my heart, because I've done a lot of work in the past couple of years, especially with business coaching from multiple people. And it's literally made me go through so many breakthroughs in my business and even just with myself. And because of this, transformative journey that I've gone on, and I've seen the results, and it's incredible. Like I want to share that with the world, because you don't know until you know. And when I look at myself, who I was like, even 3 years ago, like 2 years ago, I just didn't know like all this like mindset work and exercises that you could do can actually like really move the needle. So it's just actually, it always comes down to just putting the work in and learning from people who have already done it and replicating it, and just do it. There were a lot of things before where I was just like, oh, like that seems a little wishy-washy, like, and I just didn't do it. But when I actually started putting the work in and this like doing all these different things that my mentors have told me to do, I saw such a change and increase. And I just want everyone to get these results and see this success and have it all. So that's why I'm sharing that with you. So I did put together a little mindset practice for us to do together. So, okay, just going through my notes here. Okay, so this is a fun one. When you have some time, put something together, like on a sheet of paper. You can write it or put in your notes, whatever you want to do. If you had the perfect life, like if you had your dream life, list it all. Like maybe that's say like I'm making X amount of revenue. I have this car. I have these houses in all these different areas of the world. Like list everything. Like pretend that there's no limit. List it all out and actually tally up how much all of that would cost. Just do it for fun. Like, and what's cool about doing this exercise is that oftentimes people say, wow, it's actually a lot more doable than I thought to have it all, to have like everything I could ever dream of. And then you like break it down, right? So you have like maybe it's a huge number, but when you break things down, it's so much easier to accomplish. So that's a fun little exercise. And if you are someone who's really into mentorship, loves self-development, loves learning and growing, because I'm so passionate about this, I've created a program called the Millionaire Mentorship, which is a really easy to use platform. So it's on an app called Telegram. It's all conducted through voice notes. So every Monday to Friday, I am providing mentorship, mindset practices, exercises, strategies, resources. I pour it all in to you guys in this group, and it's for continual development within your business and within yourself. So I've seen some insane results from clients in this program, and I'm so excited to share it with the world. I actually just decreased the price on it because I'm just very being like, I'm so passionate in being called to helping as many people as possible. And I wanted to make it accessible to everyone. So it's only $39 a month. And it's just such a great community. I'm also rolling out, I'm trying it for the first time. So I have it on, when is it? November, 1 second. I want to get the date here. So I had this idea because I want to keep building a community, and it's just like a free thing that we would connect as a community, whoever wants to join. It's called Sip and Social, and we meet virtually and we just chat. We chat about all things business, life, everything. Oh yeah, so September 15th. So this Sunday at 9:30 a.m. If you're interested, let me know. I can give you the link, just like a Zoom meeting. And if this goes well and people like it, like this is something we can start to do continually. I'm such a believer in being there to support each other, and we can all win together, right? And everyone brings different things to the table, and it's all about just building that community. So something that I thought would be fun and would love to hear if you'd like to join. So I hope that you guys found this useful and got some good little nuggets from it. Of course, if you ever have any more questions from any of these, classes or podcasts that I'm doing, just reach out. I have lots of Instagram profiles that you can reach me on at Allura Agency, at allura.agency, at Kayla.Petrasek, and at the Go-To Aesthetics Coach. So I hope you have a great Monday, and we will see you later. Rocky says bye.